Welcome to Meet the Changemakers with me, Dr. Audrey Tang. It's the show where I get to meet and celebrate the wonderful work going on socially and within the community. It is so easy for us to have an idea, but not as easy to put it into action. And so it's my pleasure to chat to people who are doing just that. They saw a need and they fulfilled it. My first guests are Lorraine and Lee Lewis from the Lewis Foundation. They are a charity which started in Northamptonshire who support people, adults in fact, in particular, who are going through cancer treatment. Welcome to Meet the Changemakers.
Thanks for having us. Look forward to being here.
Oh, it's so great to speak with you. Now, tell me about the Lewis Foundation and what encouraged or motivated you to make these changes in this particular way.
Yeah, so the Lewis Foundation was set up by me and Lorraine. Basically, my mum had cancer. My dad was looking after her. One night, my dad died of his heart attack. The next day, me and Lorraine took over looking after my mum. So it was very intense. She wanted someone to be there all the time. After months and months of sitting by her bed, watching her go through treatment, we realised that not everybody has visitors. There used to be a bloke and an older lady that never had visitors for months and months. So I used to say to him, look, do you want anything from the shop? Bloke would want a Snickers bar, the woman would want just a newspaper. Used to get it for him every day and then sort of realised that no one sort of got that when we weren't there. So Lorraine used to get it when I weren't there. So then it just made us realise that people just need someone to pop to the shop for them or just need something to put them off while they're going through all this treatment. So that's what made us think about creating something where we can go in and give people something to look forward to or something just to do like a colouring book. So we sat down and we created the Lewis Foundation, which is free gifts for adult cancer patients. We do 29 different ones, and this is to give someone exactly what they want to do in their bed while they're waiting to undergo treatment. So they can ask for a puzzle book, toiletries, radio pack, some support pillar, so they can ask for different things, and we're just trying to give people exactly what they want while they're in hospitals.
That's so lovely, because I think we don't think about those things.
No.
And actually, when someone goes into hospital, when you've got family, you can pick that up on the day. But when somebody hasn't, they don't know who to ask, they don't want to bother the nurses. I think that's so lovely. And now we have some pictures of the gift bag and two of your patients, I think it's Nikki and Mandy.
Yeah.
Would you mind talking me through the gift bags and these particular patients as well?
Yeah, so both of the patients, they got in contact with us because what we do is we put in a pack. We love to see people's messages. We love to see how it's made a difference. So they both sent us a WhatsApp message, actually, to show us they've received the gift. Nikki's was at Kettering General Hospital.
Right.
She said what she loved about it was that the volunteers handed it to her, so she didn't feel comfortable going and picking one up herself because she felt nervous.
Yeah.
But the fact that someone gave it to her, she felt great. And Mandy received hers at Leicester Royal Infirmary. And what really touched me about it, it was a Take a Break magazine. And it's a magazine I take for granted because I think it's only £1. But she said that actually was a magazine she wouldn't have been able to get. So that shows you just something so simple can make a difference. So just doing these little acts of kindness, which I take for granted sometimes on a daily basis, actually mean a lot to people when they're in hospital.
That's so lovely. And with the gift packs, different things go in there, don't they? What sort of things do we pop in there?
So basically, we do 29 different ones, and how that works is we sit down every year with the nurses, and we will ask them what works, what doesn't work, if they would like to introduce new packs. Because at the end of the day, it's not about us just giving the hospital packs, it's about giving a patient exactly what they want. So that's why we have so many different ones. So you've got your standard one, which is a colouring book, which comes with a colouring book, colouring pencils, a sharpener and some sweets. So that's your colouring book. Then you've got puzzle book, which is a puzzle, pen and sweets.
Oh, nice.
Then you've got like your men's toiletry, which is all toiletry stuff for men. So we just try and do all 29 at all different packs.
Yeah.
So then the patient gets the choice when they get in the hospital.
And recently, I know I saw on social media, you were doing a call out for, it was moisturiser or Vaseline. Now, those two are specific for people undergoing chemotherapy, aren't they?
Yeah, so we did a call out, especially people get really dry hands and skin as a result of chemotherapy or radiotherapy. And we just put a shout out on social media, can anybody support? And the amount of message we got is from like businesses and individuals for like sending us them or sending us money for them. So we're really proud that we're supported by a community who can see what we're trying to achieve and want to get involved in our mission to make a difference.
Yeah, and it's fantastic. And also with the gift packs, you can go onto your website and actually fill a gift bag, can't you? So it's not just that you buy various different things, but you can actually go and give a wish list?
Yes, we've got our wish list on our website, so it's got all the different items that we have in each pack. And sometimes people say they like it because they can go shopping for people and they're buying some colouring books or some toiletries, or it might be a radio, and then that goes straight into the packs as well. So we try and create different options for people to get involved. So if they don't want to donate money, they can buy a gift and donate a product instead.
It's so lovely.
And I think our lowest thing's 14p. So even if you've not got a lot of money, you can go onto our wish list and just give in £1, and that could buy sachets of tea, a couple of sachets of hot chocolate. So just a small amount could mean a big difference to us.
And actually, it's not even just putting the packs together, but it's how you impact the community as well, because we've got some more photos here. We've got a young lad helping you pack up the gift packs, and also I think you're dressed as a Christmas cracker.
Yeah,
So what's going on there?
Yeah, so the picture is of a gift packing session. We try to include the whole community to get involved. So in terms of that picture, we're including our Duke of Edinburgh students. So we get a lot of them that come to us and they want to get their volunteering badge. So we get them involved in things such as gift packing and fundraising in the community. So, yeah, we're very community-orientated to make our work possible. The Christmas cracker, I love Christmas, always an opportunity for a dress-up. So every Christmas we do surprise hampers for adult cancer patients in the community. So people nominate someone they know going through cancer treatment, and then we coordinate it with a family or friend, and then we turn dressed up at their door with a beautiful hamper filled with lots of different goodies that businesses and individuals have donated the money so we can buy the items. Volunteers package the hampers, then we deliver them to the patients at their home.
I think it was 121 last year we did. And you're talking all really big hampers. And they were personally delivered by me and you, every single one.
This is great, because it gives you the chance to get out there and also work with so many other people. And then I know you're working with the nurses and you're expanding into different hospitals. So we've got another set of pictures here where you're doing a coffee morning, but also you're with the Milton Keynes hospital nurses.
Yes. So in terms of the coffee morning, it's something we do once a month at our local community centre in Northampton in Upton, so anybody's more than welcome to come along. And basically we do it as a way for patients and their families and friends to get together, have a nice cup of cup of tea, cake, and just a chat and get to know other people in their community. And we do it on a donate what you feel basis, so that if you haven't got much money, then you can still come and you can still take a part. So means is not really a barrier to attending. We just want to make it as inclusive as possible.
And it is about getting out, isn't it? And talking to people, especially after the pandemic. And I think we've forgotten what it's like to be in the same room as people. I think that's great. Now, you have just celebrated your 6th birthday as the Lewis Foundation, which is very exciting. What do you wish you'd known if you were to start everything all over again?
For myself, I wish that I knew about charities at a younger age. For when I grew up as a kid, it was only I remember seeing the elephant fire person that come in. It was just like an elephant to do something to do with the fire brigade, and that's all I remember as a kid. But I never remember charities going around and showing me sort of like how you can help the world. It was more aimed at like be a police officer or go and work in a good education. To me, it weren't about helping people. And then I've seen the benefits of helping people. For me, like I used to buy that woman a paper, that smile inside was benefiting me more than my whole family. So to me, making someone else smile can benefit you really well.
That explains, because you're always, I see you at the business fairs, I see you promoting your charity. That's about getting out there and telling people this is something you can get involved in.
Yeah, and I agree with Lee. Like, I didn't have any experience of charities, and before we started the charity, I didn't get involved in charities because there was nothing that was going out there and engaging me and encouraging me to get involved. So, yeah, I'm 100% with Lee. I wish I had known about it earlier, so we probably could have started it earlier and done even more good and helped.
And it's good to help. It benefits your helping, it benefits your own mental health, and it makes you feel good about yourself. So.
It absolutely does. Yeah, it's not just the dopamine hit, it's all of the feel-good hormones that get that little buzz. It's fantastic. So if somebody wanted to help other people, so we know they can come to you and ask for your advice about joining your charity, but what would you say to them if they have this idea, they want to do something, but they don't quite know how to get started?
Yeah, something I get asked quite a lot, actually. But I said you just have to go and do it and try it. Like, when we started, we had no clue about how it would work or what you would do. But you have to do things to learn and grow, and you will make mistakes. But if you're passionate about doing something and making a difference, you just have to go out there and get it done. That's personally what I think, and do it. What have you got to lose? You're helping people.
That is true. Are there any particular experiences that kind of really stay in your mind? I know the lady that you made smile by buying something. Are there any particular beneficiaries or any particular moments where you just think, oh?
There was for me. When I was working, when we first did the charity, I was working as a chef in kitchen management. And for me, I walked into a room and there was a mum and a daughter, and they were crying their eyes out. And she was saying I was going to die, and the mum was saying, no, you'll be all right, because this is when we used to walk into the wards before COVID. And I said, no, it'll be okay. Look, my mum's okay. And then she sort of believed me. But after getting to know this sort of woman, it made me realise that she reminded me of me and Lorraine, because she had a husband, just had a kid. It reminded me of, like, because they're the same similar age to me and Lorraine. And then I went into work the next day and someone shouted at me for a burger was taking more than 3 minutes. We was a proper chefy place, not a McDonald's. So to me, I thought, there's people going through worse situations than this. So and that really got to me, which had never got to me before. So I literally handed in my notice that day and said, look, I don't...
Wow.
And then I said to Lorraine, obviously, we had a mortgage, not the best thing you can tell your missus.
You're still together.
I've just quit my job. She was like, mortgage? So that was it for me. But I went into the care industry. I really wanted to go and help people after that. So I went from kitchen management, getting paid a good wage, to literally going to start at the bottom. I went as a healthcare assistant and worked in a end-of-life traumatic stroke sort of unit. And I wanted to help people because I found myself in them situations, going into someone's room and trying to help them where I could and not sort of walking away.
Wow.
So I thought, let me go and help some other people. And I really enjoyed it.
I mean, I guess in a way that leads me to another question, which is, I know, slightly off brief, but if somebody is in that situation and they think, you know what, my job does not give me any sense of purpose, any sense of value, and I really want to just start again, but I've got a mortgage, and what would you say to them?
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, you can find purpose outside of your work. So if it's a case you can't take that dramatic step, then look for things that really excite you and light you up. So look for volunteering opportunities in the community, and there's so many different organisations in the community that you can reach out to, because then that can give you your purpose, and you never know what you could discover from that. You can actually discover something you fall in love with, give you a skill that could lead you onto a new path away from the job that doesn't make you happy.
No, I think that's the thing. You've got to take that step to make the change you want. Now, going back to your work, something that I know we've talked about in the past is that when somebody has a diagnosis of cancer, it's frightening, it's devastating, but there are ways that I think friends and family can help make it better, or could even make it worse. What do you think is still misunderstood when it comes to talking about a diagnosis?
What I think we've noticed is that people are not too sure how to communicate with their loved one or their friend or family. What do I say? What do I do? Obviously, they're going to start to change. They're going to lose their hair. Their skin may not be the same as it was before. But all that person wants to be is their self. They're still the same person. It's just that they've got this diagnosis. So people want to be treated the same as they were. They still have the same interests. They still have the same likes. They still want to do things. Yeah, they shouldn't be any different.
We do find, though, innit, with big families especially, we do see a lot of families and they just sort of close their doors.
Gosh.
Because like Lorraine said, they don't know what to say and stuff as well. You just got to be just act the same. But some people can't do that, and I think there's definitely a barrier in our heads that stops a lot of people doing that, because it is such a big problem with families. Just sort of distancing themselves, or don't know what to say and all that, so they try and sort of get away from people and stuff. So I've noticed that very a lot in the hospitals and stuff.
And with friends as well, sometimes I know I sit there and go, oh, should I say this good news thing that's happened to me, because I don't know whether that's the right thing. But that's not the case, is it? People do want to hear these wonderful things. They want to share the joy, and
and they don't want to. Otherwise, they'll feel left out. Like, why didn't you say, or why didn't you tell me? I still want to hear, and know that you're doing good. So I've still got to treat that person as the person.
And you act normal if you're telling them how you're doing. So you just start hiding stuff from them, then it makes them feel even worse. So a lot of people do start hiding stuff, and then they wonder why they sort of get pushed away a little bit. So it's just about being normal and just asking them how's their day going and stuff. That's
true. And sort of sticking with that sense of normality, What do you think we can do that actually helps when people are undergoing that treatment, maybe on the really bad days, or what things do make a difference that you've noticed?
I mean, it could be even simple things like sending a text and just say, just thinking of you, no need to respond, so they're not feeling under pressure.
Yes.
Or maybe sending them something that they like a nice blanket or their favourite magazine, or anything they love, just to say, like, we're thinking of you, we're here for you, just get in touch when you need us. Because we do get a lot of people ask, my friend's been diagnosed with cancer, or my family member's been diagnosed with cancer, what can I send them? It's like, well, you know who they are as a person. Just send them something they would like.
Or send them a gift bag.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
just, treat them as you normally would, how you would before.
Just listening to you for a second, it's almost something clicked in my head there. And I was suddenly like, because the second somebody gets diagnosed with cancer, you almost see them as the disease, not as the person. You're absolutely right. They are still the person.
Yeah.
They are just having to battle this extra thing that's happened to them. That's so funny, isn't it? No wonder we all get so awkward. Oh my goodness. And with gifting, now it's one of my things from psychology. I like talking about the 5 languages of love, and gifts are one of them, giving and receiving gifts. But others are things like acts of service. And so what are your thoughts on if somebody they've come home from hospital, about giving acts of service, sort of saying to them, well, actually, I can look after the kids, or rather than even a present, or if you turn up not expecting them to look after you, but then turning up to do the dishes or something like that. What are your thoughts on offering acts of service as well?
Yeah, I mean, they're still as valuable. I would probably check with the person just to see how they feel about it. But it might be, you could write, this is a list of the things I could do for you. Let me know if you need me. I can reach out to you and help. So just making people aware that, like, you are there for them and you will care for them, and you do love them. So I will do what I can to help you. These are the type of things I can do. Just reach out.
Even like encouraging them to go away. If you can try your hardest to let the person that's got cancer go away with their loved one or family or whoever, and you can do all the stuff, I think that means a lot to people. Because there are caravans and stuff in England that do that sort of service if people are going under cancer. But I do think it's to get people away on a little holiday together. I do think that means a lot, because then they have their own little, they sort of forget about it, or they get closer. So I think that's a definite way of getting over it a little bit.
And now your charity has grown immensely, and you are offering, you've just made a connection with a photographer as well. Tell me a bit more about what else you're able to offer.
Yes, so we love networking with people and reaching out, and I think that really helps, because then we can find different ways outside the hospital setting to help people. Like, we connected with a lady recently, Celeste, lives in Leicester, really loved her work and what she's doing, and she's very much about empowering people and trying to make a difference in the community. So she had this concept and idea of, like, let's get patients in and let's get them their makeup done, or if they're a man, so they could just start skincare, make the people feel good, get them dressed up, do a nice photo shoot, and just remind them, like, you're amazing and you look great, irrespective of what you're going through.
That's so nice. And related to that, because we do have viewers who run businesses, you have business partnerships as well.
Yeah.
How can they support you?
Yeah, so we find with businesses, they support us with things like our core costs, so not the stuff for the gift packs, so to help our charity run. So like recently we got funding from West Northamptonshire Council to fund our units so we can have a space to do our work, which without it we can't do our work.
Yes.
And just things like helping out with, costs towards, like, maybe even petrol or parking or things like that. Yeah. So businesses get involved in a variety of ways, not just through, like, necessarily the gift packs, but also the things that help make the charity run, which without we couldn't do. Yeah,
because believe it or not, we still have to pay for parking in every single hospital.
Gosh.
So every time we go to a hospital, it already costs us from £150 to £4.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just to park the van.
Yeah.
So anything helps to the core cost, sort of thing. Cause,
makes what we do possible.
Yeah, and then of course being there in person makes such a difference, which is wonderful. And when you were helping your mother and your mother-in-law through all of this, what are the things that you learn in the process that perhaps you hadn't realised before?
I just learnt to, like we were saying a minute ago, never treat anybody differently. Always give people time and respect people. And everybody's different. Not everybody wants the same thing, or not everybody wants to do the same thing, so just get to know, and then
And also what you do is you don't just do the gift packs, you get involved in fundraising events as well. And I was lucky enough to be part of your fire walk, which I thought was so unusual. And I know you're Chief Happiness Officer, so tell me how you get some of these ideas and what is on the agenda as we go through this year that we can all get involved
We're
in.
very adventurous. We like to shake it up so it's not just the usual running or walking event, and people love the fact that we do different things. So like we did the fire walk and we did skydiving this year, which was amazing. So we try and do
our
lots
own
of different
official
things.
run, which was the water dash. We did that for the first time, which all the money from all the ticket sales and everything went straight towards back to the charity. That was a big part for our charity. And we're just looking at more and more events. We want to start a bingo night.
Brilliant!
Someone was talking to me earlier about doing a barn festival for the charity.
Well, why not?
It'd be fun.
So, and we've got a new volunteer on board, and he said to me, he used to work volunteer for another charity, and he said, I love your charity. He said, every day I come with you, Lee, something's different. You're either setting up a pop-up shop, you're setting up a coffee shop,
Yes.
you're doing a tombola in the Grosvenor, you've got gift packing, community sessions going. He said, I love it because every day's different.
You see, now that's important because I talk to a lot of people who enjoy volunteering, but sometimes they think, oh, I can't volunteer for X because it means giving up this amount of time and I just can't commit to that. But there are so many different ways to get involved with you. How might we be able to work with you?
Yeah, so we've got lots of different ways. So we do like our gift packing sessions. So that's like about an hour and a half in an evening. So we don't say you have to commit and you have to come every week. You come as and when you want. And we do lots of event fundraising in the community, such as like tombolas, community fetes to raise money for our charity. We do lots of different things that people can get involved with to give their time, but don't feel under pressure that you have to make that regular commitment. Is as and when you can help us, you're more than welcome to join us. So all the information's on our website about volunteering with us.
And we've just started open days. So in our hub, where we do all of our gift packs, we've started doing days where we'll put it on our app or on social media, and we'll say between 9 and 3, anybody can come down, just help us out, get involved with helping do some sweets or just building a few gift packs. So now we're trying to do open days because we don't want to make people feel like they've got to be there for certain times.
Yeah.
And that's worked quite well so
drop
far.
in as and when they want, do their bit, and then go. So
That's so nice. And on that, your social media links and how do we get in touch with you?
Yeah, so website-wise, it's www.thelewisfoundation.co.uk. And if you search for Facebook, you usually post it on all the time, I'm sure you've seen. Just search for the Lewis Foundation, and that's the best way to get hold of us, see what we're up to, and we're always sharing different ways people can get involved.
Oh, fantastic. And now, if you have one message to give about the importance of making social changes and really having that social conscience, what would it be?
For me, is that if you see something that wants to be done, you've just got to give it a go and do it, and don't let fear stop you from doing it. You can make a change.
Fantastic.
And for me, it's just about being nice to people, because the benefits you get from being nice is you open the door for someone, they open it for you. So I think if for being nice, you always get it back to you. So I'm always about being happy.
That's fabulous. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Well, as you know, it's easy to think of ideas. It's even easier to naysay ideas when you've heard them, but it isn't always as easy to make those changes. But as you've heard from our fabulous guests, if you are imagining this week, just take one step towards making that real. If you are creating, maybe make one connection to make it better. And certainly if you can see a gap, ask yourself, how can I make the difference? Next week, I shall be talking to Diane Danzebrink of Menopause Support UK, who is working to make menopause matter for us all. And for this week, thank you so much to my guests, Lorraine and Lee Lewis from the Lewis Foundation, who always are reminding us to be the change that we want to see.
Thank you.